Hello and welcome back to Concert Critiques in Cars. Please note the lack of parked. Welcome back to Concert Critiques in Cars with Emily. That's right, folks. I went to a real actual concert today. Woo! All right, so let's get into it. I am excited and there is a ton to talk about. So some things happened on the way here. Really not great things, mostly dealing with traffic and parking. But even like has nothing to do with, I mean, we left an hour and a half early and it was an hour away. So I thought a half hour would be enough time. It wasn't. If we had had parking, it would have been close. But what was super annoying is we got field tickets. So we were on the field. And so you had to go through a separate entrance to get a wristband, which was fine. But we parked on the one side of the stadium and we had to walk all the way around the other side of the stadium to get the wristbands. And then when we walked in, we had to walk all the way around the other side of the stadium to get to our seats. So by the time we actually got into the show, so before we got into the show, we got to the doors of the show and found out that Fall Out Boy was not going to be there. And so I feel like if I had a rubric, all bands attending would be like a certain point number. So I feel like I can't give this concert a 10 right off the bat just because one of the bands didn't show up. Not sure how much credit I'm taking off for that, but we'll get to that later because we have a lot to go through. All right, so we did get to see the Interrupters, which because Fall Out Boy was no longer in the lineup, we were able to see the Interrupters because the Interrupters played for longer. They had their takedown setup time, and then Weezer played for longer, and then as did oh my gosh, guys, hello, Green Day, sorry. Oh, by the way, this is Hella Megatour. Sorry, I know I did not say that before. Hella Megatour, super excited. All right, so before we get there, we found out that Fall Out Boy wasn't coming. I've seen them before, so I wasn't super upset, like super upset, but I bought the ticket for all three bands, so I was kind of looking forward to seeing the three big bands. But let's actually dive into the show now. Wow, guys, I spent a lot of time talking about this whole setup, so bear with me. All right, so Interrupters. We missed most of their set due to all of these problems trying to get the wristband. Then once we got the wristbands, we were in the stadium, but then we had to find our seats and they were far away. So by the time I was actually able to actually look at the stage and see what was going on, so we were able to see the first song we heard them playing was all just sound, right? We were trying to get to our seats. So the second song we were actually in the stadium for them playing was the first song that we were able to watch, if that makes any sense. And I actually really enjoyed that. It was very punk sounding. And then the third one was less punk. And they moved a lot around on stage. The fourth song I was not a huge fan of just because of the context. It was about a girl who was getting arrested for, and this is the lyric, shooting down her man. And so I just wasn't a huge fan of that one. And they asked the crowd to do some oohs and some ahs during that song. And then their fifth song was a Billie Eilish cover, Bad Guy. So I actually really loved that. And they had a trombone player. And so I really liked the trombone in that song. I thought that was a cool way to cover it. And then they started singing an older punk song, and I don't remember what it was called. And then they went into this Fall Out Boy mashup, and so they were like, oh, we're so sorry that Fall Out Boy couldn't be here, so we'll play some of their songs. So that was kind of fun. They just played little snippets, but it was nice to kind of pay tribute to them, I guess, in a weird way. So it turns out that two of the members of the band are twins, and their birthday is tomorrow, or at this point today. I'm not sure when I'll post this, probably tomorrow, today, but on their birthday, I guess. Anyway, so they asked the crowd to sing happy birthday, and so that was pretty random, and not a lot of people did it, but it was fine. And then after that, they asked the crowd to stand up for their last song. I didn't recognize it, but it was Gave You Everything, and so that is actually I don't think I've ever heard that song before. I haven't. But then I was kind of disappointed because I was like, oh, that's definitely not the song that I know of theirs. And so I was like, we missed it. of course we missed it. We missed so much of the show already. But then after that, they actually played She's Kerosene, which is a song that I did know. So I was really, really excited that I got to see that song. And that I didn't miss that one. So I'm glad that they actually really saved that one for the end. So that made me happy. Then Weezer, I loved their drum setup. So they had Weezer all in bass drums spelled out, and then the actual like drum part of it was the drummer was sitting at the Z drum, so he was like, that was his actual bass drum. So they started with Hero. I don't even know if that's the actual name, sorry, I should have looked that up. But like loved that as a start. I was so excited to see that song. I really, really like that new song of theirs. And so, or Don't Want to Be a Hero. I don't know what the actual title is. Hero. But yeah, loved that start. Thought that was a great way to like grab people in. Super excited about it. So definitely a fantastic choice. Then they went right into Hash Pipe, and so the stage had like a little like section that the singers could come forward, the band members, I guess not just the singers, could come forward onto. So it was like you know, there was like the main stage part, and then they had like a little section that kind of cut off. So when I say the front of the stage, that's what I mean. So they came to the front of the stage, and yeah, so that was nice. Like during the instrumental part before the lyrics for Hash Pipes, so that was kind of his first like entrance onto the front of the stage. Then they played All the Good Ones. So I wasn't really familiar with that song, but I really enjoyed it. The verses were like super like crystal clear to hear, so I thought that their sound was so good and like just again really super clear. And I actually really enjoyed the choruses too, so I really liked that song. And then they went into Beverly Hills, and then after the bridge they changed the end to Live in DC, Washington DC. So I thought that was cool. I like when bands kind of incorporate the city that they're in. And then they played The End of the Game, and I had forgotten that it was written for this tour because it's been out for so long at this point. But so that was cool to see. Glad I got to see that as well. You know, one of their newer songs that I know at this point. And then they went right into My Name is Jonas, so that was great. And they had a harmonica part, so I really liked that. And then, I mean, listen, I know all of you like, oh my god, what is that called? Rock band players know that song. The end of that song is crazy, but the guitar at the end, I mean, when you like are listening to it live by the like original creator of it, it's just oh, it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, so really liked the harmonica and really liked the guitar in that part. Then they played Pork and Beans. And it was funny because I guess at the very beginning, that first verse, he points to someone in the crowd and is like, and was like, that's not nice. And so we had no idea what they were talking about. And so then he was like, she's pointing to her boyfriend, like between lines. So he's singing a line and then went, that's not nice. And then sang another line. It was like, she's pointing to her boyfriend, meaning that she's saying that the boyfriend is like that. So I thought that was pretty funny. And I like that he was like interactive with the crowd. Then, hold on, sorry. So then like there was fire at the chorus, so that was pretty cool. So the next song was Feels Like Summer. So they had 4 canisters on each side of the stage, and so like fire exploded when they started to sing the chorus, so that was pretty cool. After that they played All My Favorite Songs, so I was really excited about that one. I really like that song. I love hearing it on the radio, so I was super excited that I got to see that one as well. After that was a Sweater Song, which again, it's just like such a classic, and like any subtle change that they did was just like so appreciated because I love those subtle changes. We all know that. I didn't actually recognize the next song. It was called Surf Wax America, and it really like slowed down by the bridge, and so I really liked that. Then after that was El Scorcho, and so one of the lyrics is I asked if you wanted to go to a Green Day concert, and so like after that they just totally stopped playing and give the crowd a second to like cheer for it. So I loved that. I thought that was really cool, because we were at a Green Day concert, guys. That was fine. So yeah, so the crowd like goes crazy and cheers. And then also during that song, they grabbed a cell phone from the pit. He like took a crazy picture, and so that was pretty cool too. I liked that. I like when they do things like that. I wish it was my phone, but I'm also not going to be waiting outside at like noon for a show anymore because, you know, life things. Anyway, So they said that they were sad that Fall Out Boy couldn't be here, and that they were gonna play a cover, and so they played Sugar We're Going Down, which is like such the perfect cover for me. So I really liked their cover choice. I thought that was a really good choice. And again, they played, like, he came to the front of the stage, that little section, and played it acoustically, and then he actually stopped playing, like they stopped playing totally, and then they let us sing the chorus. So again, just very interactive. I liked that. Then they played Island in the Sun, and they gave the pit some beach balls. We saw some like pink and purple beach balls flying around. And then the fog machines like really came on, and so like I like so obviously weren't on before, and then we're suddenly like super on, and so I didn't understand why until this part happened. So he starts singing, and he's saying District of Columbia, and then he's like, which is in South America, which is what he's saying, which is in the Southern Hemisphere, which he's saying, and then he's like, which is also has Africa in it. And it was like, oh, we should have seen that coming. How do we not see that? Best transition of the whole, well, maybe not the whole show, but one of the top of the whole show. It was so good. So yeah, I really liked that. And then they obviously played Africa. And so they had like a half wall of like just like stacked amps as their background or part of their background. And so he like went up onto the wall and like laid down across the amps. So that was cool. And then at one point in that, during Africa, he went behind the R drum. So again, that Weezer and bass drums. And so there was like this tall drum, and he was, the singer was banging on the drums. So that was cool. So yeah, and then they also changed the sound to make the guitar sound like bit sound. So that was cool too. So lots of cool things in that like one song. So I really liked that. And when that was on the radio, I feel like it a little bit got overplayed, but it was pretty cool to see it live because there were lots of changes. So I really liked that. And then they played a song that I didn't know. And actually the first part may have even been a cover. But because they only played like a small bit of that part, and then they played Say It Isn't So, and there was definitely fire during the chorus for that one, so that was pretty cool. And then after that they played Buddy Holly, and the guitar changed into 8-bit for a little bit, and for the first part in the beginning, and then they shot off confetti, so that was the last song that they did, and it was awesome, and it was great, and I really loved their set. I really liked how they incorporated kind of their like newer and older songs all together. I thought they did a really nice job of incorporating the crowd as well. Then we get to Green Day. So I've never seen Green Day, not a huge Green Day fan in terms of when I hear them on the radio, but I've heard a lot of good things about Green Day, and obviously, you know, kind of anticipated that they would be good hype people, or hyped like show, so I was excited to see what that was like. So you basically listen to the recorded version of Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. That's how they started, so that was like, people were excited about that. And then like a bunny who, so it was like a mascot costume, right? Like a bunny costume. And so they were all, the bunny came out on stage. I think you were supposed to think it was drunk because like one of the people backstage who like clearly worked backstage, they had like the set on their hip and stuff. Like we're trying to struggle with the bunny at first, and then the bunny just started dancing to Blitzkrieg Bop. So that was like fun. And then at the end of the song, it got like, the bunny got dragged off and was like taken back. I mean, obviously, whatever. And then you got kind of a mashup of We Will Rock You, I Love Rock and Roll, and then Blitzkrieg. So that was kind of cool. Like you got this little mashup. They came out, they played American Idiot, and they changed up and extended the bridge. So I really liked that as well. Again, like great, super cool, like just hype up, like guys, this is a Green Day show song. So I really, really liked that. I thought that was really cool. He was like, put the phones down. We've spent 1.5 years now. So like staring at our phones. So like now we can actually be in person. We can dance, we can sing, we can cry. This is unity. So then they continued with the song. There was like a firework that went off at the end, which I was not expecting. So that was like really like a really great like way to come into life. And I also appreciate that he said that once about the phones and then like didn't mention it again. So then like a legit firework went off at the beginning of the next song. And so the next one was Holiday. And sound, he came to the front of the stage, and they turned out the lights and had this like giant flashlight. So he was just holding a flashlight, and so then the lights came on, and at the start of the bridge it says bang bang, and so like the quick fireworks came again, so I thought that was really cool. Then they played Know Your Enemy. Sorry, that was all for Holiday. I don't know if I made that clear. I'm trying to read through quickly, and I was a little bit confused, but now I'm not confused. So after Holiday, they played Know Your Enemy. So I recognized it, but didn't really know it. But it was a good song. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good follow-up to a popular song, and I thought it was good timing. The third song is always a good time to play like a not so popular song. Then he played a bit of a slower song, and I actually really enjoyed it. I never heard it before, and I couldn't find the lyrics. I couldn't find what it was called through the lyrics on my phone. But yeah, I actually really liked that fourth song too. And again, so I didn't know the third one that well. I heard of the third one, Know Your Enemy, but I didn't know the next one. And then after that, they played Boulevard of Broken Dreams, which, I mean, come on, guys. That was like, of course, I was like, yes, this song is going to be played, and I'm really excited about it. So that was awesome. So it was really fun to see live, and they had the crowd put their like phone flashlights on, so that was cool. It was really cool in a, you know, packed stadium to see. And so for the next song, they had a camera on like the very like top of the bass, and so you could see down the bass, and you could see the bass player playing it. And of course you get this iconic bass line, and you're just like, oh, this is such good Green Day. So they played Longview, so that was really awesome. And so like randomly, this is gonna be such a random thought, and I don't even know if I really should do it because I'm running out of time here. So in the middle of that song, Longview, he like went to the left side of the stage and tried to like have the stage do like fist pump, and then he went to the right side of the stage and tried to have the stage do clapping. And I was just like kind of confused. I was like, are we in like a cheering like war right now, or are you just like trying to do random things with like the crowd? I don't know. It was just kind of like funny to me because I was like, oh boy. But then like he didn't push it or like say anything else. He was just kind of like, I'm just gonna let it go. But yeah, so I really so I don't know, that was just like random. Then there was like a big pop for the next song, and it was Welcome to Paradise, and again, like just another iconic song, so it was like back-to-back iconics. Oh, it was so good. But I really loved the instrumental part of that, Welcome to Paradise, so I really liked that part. Then they had another song with like quick short notes for the next song, and so I really liked that. And he actually asked like, how many people are from Maryland? And I was like, yes, we're from Maryland. What about Baltimore? And he was like, what about Canada? So that was like funny, and I liked that. And then he stopped playing and had everyone do like Haze over and over again. And that's when he legit did like left versus center versus right, and my side won. Of course, we were the best. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, he was like, you guys are so good, this one side is so loud, and we were like, yeah. And yeah, so he was just like excited, and then they like counted back into the song, because again, there was no music at that point. So then he counted back into the song, and he's like, are you ready? And everyone was like, yeah. And he was like, no. So he like crossed his arms, and he's waiting for us to start cheering. And then at one point there was like a step down, so it was like the main stage, and then again to that like center stage there was like a little step down, and so he just like sat on the step and was like waiting. So that was kind of funny, just, you know, clearly not enough, we were not excited enough for him to continue the song. So I thought that was like a cute little thing going on for that song. And then yeah, so it was fun. So I like that. Sorry guys, that was like a lot of dinner. So yeah, then there was like lots of fire when the music came back, so that was pretty cool. It was called Hitching a Ride. That was the song that all of this happened during. So Hitching a Ride, that was what it was called. Then they played a cover song by Kiss, and that was not my favorite part. I'm not a huge Kiss fan to begin with. Not only that, but then I also like was not a huge fan of just the cover in general. So, oh my gosh, guys, I'm like on a steep hill right now. Ooh, scary. So yeah, so that was definitely a low point for me in their set for sure. And then they played Brain Stew, which again was just like another cool one because you knew that was coming at some point. So they had lots of little changes, and I really, really liked that. Like after the line "clock laughing in my face," he kind of laughed, which was cool. And then the way he sang the word skull at one point was really cool. So just really appreciated those little changes. And then we transitioned into another song without actually finishing, and so it was like really fast lyrics for this song, and I didn't recognize it, but then I looked it up and it was Saint Jimmy. So I had never heard that song before, but he stood in the middle of the stage after the song ended and pretended that he was like dead. So he's just standing there like with his head turned to the side and like pretending he's dead, and eventually on the screen these little like red X's crossed over his eyes, and when that happened he kind of started moving his head and making funny faces. So that was just like a randomly funny thing. And then the lights went out and they played When I Come Around. So that was like, I had like forgotten that was a Green Day song, and when it started I was like, oh, this song is so good. Like I actually do really like hearing this song on the radio. So that was like definitely the first like super highlight for me, because I was actually really excited to hear the song. So that was pretty cool. And then the lights went out again after that, and like longer held notes started playing, and it was 21 Guns. I actually really like kind of forgotten about that song too. I was like, oh, that was more of a surprise to me than When I Come Around. So yeah, it was like cool to see live. I thought it was really well placed to come right after When I Come Around. I thought you kind of like are coming down off of this like really fast Saint Jimmy, and then you are like really slowing down. And so for the next one, there were fireworks at the beginning. It was Minority, and I got some serious like Irish vibes during the verses and the bridge. I had never realized that before, so I don't know if it sounds like that and I just haven't listened to the song in such a long time. But I feel like that's like one of their fairly popular ones, and I had never realized like how Irish it sounded, so maybe, I don't know. But I thought the instruments were cool, and they used a harmonica, which I really liked. So I really thought that was cool. I really liked the harmonica part in that song. And then he introduced the band, and then after he introduced the band, they actually finished the song Minority. So that was it was a pretty cool song. The drummer did like a little drum solo, and there was some sax in there. And then he asked who knows how to play a guitar. So there was a guitar in the stand at the like end of like the front of that stage, that piece of stage that I've been talking about. And he was asking, and so they start playing a song called Knowledge, and he like actually sang a note for a really, really long time, and I was really, really impressed. I mean, it was very, very impressive how long he held that note for. So that started it, and it was kind of weird because he kind of was like, who knows how to play the guitar? And then never went back to it and started singing the song. So I was like, is he gonna actually like do anything with this, or is this just like, I don't know. So he asked someone in the pit if they knew how to play the guitar, and also asked if they were vaxxed, which I thought was smart, good choice. And so he found a 16-year-old, which I thought was really sweet. It was a 16-year-old's first Green Day concert, so I thought that was really nice, that it was probably very special for this kid. So he comes up on stage and he gives him like a quick lesson to show him the 3 chords that he's gonna play, and then he's like, okay, like you're gonna turn around and you're just gonna go for it. And this kid did so well. He was rocking out like from the start. Oh, it was epic. And so like right at the end of the song, he tells him to come up to the stairs and to jump off like in that last like note. Oh gosh, it was just so good. You were like, I don't know, like I just felt so like, oh, this like 16-year-old is like being so cool right now. And then at the end of the song, he told him to put the guitar back and then do like a stage dive. So that was really awesome that he was just like, yeah, dude, do a stage dive. So the kid gave his like wallet and phone to the bouncer and was like, all right, and he jumped off the stage. So that was really cool. I thought that was a really special thing. I wouldn't have been able to go up on stage because I don't know how to play the guitar, but I thought that was cool for someone who did. Then they played Basket Case, which I was really looking forward to. So again, that was like just a fun thing to listen to. And then they went right into She, which I was actually not a huge fan of just because of the placement. I really was looking forward to Basket Case. And so then to follow that up immediately with She, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, because I would have rather you switched it, because I would have rather heard She first, the song that I didn't prefer, to Basket Case, the song that I really preferred. However, after that, the stage goes dark and they played Wake Me Up When September Ends, and I realized, oh, that actually goes really well right after She. That makes a lot of sense now. So listen, it was a good job overall, but in the moment I was like, oh, I wish they had switched that. But yeah, so again, like When September Ends, it's like a slower song, but it was cool to see, you know, again, like a big hit of theirs. Guys, I'm almost done. I know this is a really long one. So after that, they played Still Breathing was next, and I really forgot about that song, but man, did I really enjoy it when I heard it. I really liked that song, and so I was really glad that they played it, because it would have just totally like been a forgotten song of theirs that I just didn't even think about. But yeah, I really liked that song. I thought that was, again, well placed. They really did a good job with like placing their songs well, so I really liked that. And then after that, they played Jesus of Suburbia, which I did not realize was such a long song. So I didn't really know it, and at that point in the set, I was not really excited about it because I didn't know it, and I was like, it's like, I'm like tired, I want to go home, this isn't exciting anymore because I don't really know the song. And so it didn't really do anything for me, and they had Fire and it was fine. And then they got to like the bridge or bridge one or part of the bridge one or section one. I don't even know. It's a really long song, guys. But I did like that part. And so that kind of got me back into it. And then they had like this transition point where they had all these cool fireworks. So that was awesome. This is why maybe it was not the best transition before, because this was a pretty cool transition too. And then they played Dearly Beloved, which I'd never heard before, but I really, really liked it. And I really, really liked that song. And so they had that fireworks transition. They played Dearly Beloved, or at least a part of it. And then they had another like fireworks thing, and they went back into Jesus of Suburbia. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, this song is really long. And then he did like this yelling, chanting thing. And he was like, he had his like eyes closed and it was like, just kind of yelling, like just not in a melody, like legit just yelling, and wanted the crowd to repeat him. I was not a fan of that. Really not a fan of that at all. And then there was like a firework and they played the end of the song. So that chanting thing really threw me for a loop, and I did not like that part. Anyway, after that, they talked about mental health and how important it is for you to talk, and especially now, having, you know, been through COVID and stuff. And then they dedicated the last song to Fall Out Boy, and so it was Good Riddance, which I was like super, super excited to hear. So he only played it with the guitar. Yeah, man, it was just, he did this like cool guitar thing in the middle, so it wasn't like exactly the same song. And then at the end there were confetti and a whole bunch of fireworks, so it was really, really fun. Oh my gosh, that was so long. Wow, sorry guys, this might be my longest so far. Overall, I really liked the show. I was not a huge fan of the parking situation. Again, that was partly my error, partly other people's error. Not a huge fan of the confusing trying to get these wristband things, and like lack of signs, and even trying to find our seats was confusing. No one was really telling us how to get to the field, but then finally we figured it out. Like, just a lot of stuff, and I'm not gonna use that to make my rating for this show, because I'm really just gonna stick to the music part of it. But it was annoying, and I'm upset that I missed so much of the interrupters, because I really did want to see them, more of them. But I am glad that I got to see them, because we definitely would have missed them had Fall Out Boy not been there. And now we need to deal with this Fall Out Boy issue. I don't know how much like points to take off, because, you know, again, I was told that I was going to get this show, and that's not what I got. I mean, I really liked the interrupters. I'm glad that I got to see she's Kerosene, so I'm glad that I got to see that. I really liked Weezer. I don't even think there was a single thing during Weezer's set that I was not like super excited about. And again, I had seen them before, but they just did a great job, and I got to see like their 3 newer songs that I hadn't seen the last time I saw them, so I was really excited about that, and those songs were really fun. So yeah, I really liked their set. And then Green Day was like amazing. I'm really glad that I got to see them. They definitely played like all of their top hits for me. They had 2 songs that I wasn't a huge fan of. Really didn't love that really, really long song, the Jesus of Suburbia. That was definitely a low point, and the chanting thing was just weird. I don't know, I really was not a fan of that part. But man, I mean, also like first concert in over a year and a half. Whoa, there's so much to grade and think about. I'm gonna give this one, I don't know, I'm gonna give this one a 7.5 just because of the Fall Out Boy thing. I really didn't like that Jesus of Suburbia part of Green Day. There were a couple songs in the Interrupters that I wasn't a huge fan of. The Kiss cover kind of threw me off, but Weezer did really good. So I think 7.5 is where I'm gonna stick. And maybe it would have been higher. Maybe it would have been like an 8.5 if Fall Out Boy had been there. But I definitely have to take credit off for not having Fall Out Boy. But yeah, so please let me know what you think. Were you there? Did you want to go? Did you get your refund when you found out Fall Out Boy wasn't going to be there? Comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. I am super pumped to be back. Super pumped. And also, I would like you to note that, yes, I have been in a parking garage for 30 minutes trying to get out. So, woo! All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.